What's going on, everybody? Thesportsduude here, and we are back for the Thesportsduude podcast, episode number 5. And we are here with a bunch of topics in the sports realm of things here, guys. Plenty of topics according to the NFL moves, March Madness, and the thumbnail WWE Roadblock happened this past Saturday, about a week ago, which I didn't really get to talk to. But I'll talk about that and talk about a lot of topics also. Some topics I did forget. I think I forgot one last week that I wanted to dive into a little bit about the NFL. And I'll talk about all these events, of course, March Madness, which has been crazy so far, and on top of my screwed up bracket. But nonetheless, we will jump right in. Well, the first topic was Matt Forte. I did forget to talk about that he was eventually signed by the New York Jets, which I was reading an article and was talking about before he was expressed interest from the Green Bay Packers, which was kind of interesting, as they would have had Lacey and Forte, which would have been an interesting dynamic there. But Forte going to the Jets is quite interesting in my opinion, because you already have Chris Ivory and now you have Forte. I mean, Ivory was an okay running back, nothing special, but Forte really adds an extra layer to the game, and he really brings a big-time running back to the Jets who really needs some offensive help too. You got Brandon Marshall there, Eric Decker, and you got a consistent running back in Forte. Maybe just a quarterback could be the next thing they need, though. That's what I forgot to talk about last week, so I wanted to jump that in, start that off. Of course, we always have fan questions as well. I'll dive into it. It's an NBA fan question, and I'll talk about that as well. But the first NFL news I wanted to talk about, which was, this one's kind of crazy, but the Broncos acquired Mark Sanchez, which this I know is a little bit about a week ago that this happened. But that to me was absolutely crazy. I mean, like I mentioned before in the last podcast, with Osweiler gone, you needed a quarterback, and now so far it's Mark Sanchez. Now, I could see them going after somebody else. Maybe Sanchez is just like the Band-Aid for right now, that just kind of, healing the wound, I guess you would say. But I really don't see them trying to rebuild him or fix him to be some kind of starting quarterback, because he doesn't have the capability, in my opinion, of doing that. He's had a rough career so far. I don't know, maybe Mark Sanchez is the answer for Denver, but that just to me was a little surprising that they, acquired Mark Sanchez. We'll see, though. We'll see. Like I mentioned before, the Broncos are just devastated by everything from the retirements to just, everybody leaving. So it's just kind of crazy how their situation has gone from champions to now losers, pretty much. And the other NFL move was, this is kind of a minor one, Brett Grimes was acquired by the Bucs. That's actually an underrated move. The Bucs defense coming out, I believe it was last season, they have some good pieces to the puzzles. Like guys like Jerry McCoy were there, and you got interesting pieces that really can help out. Mark Barron really didn't turn out to be all that great, but this is a big addition for them in the cornerback position. Brett Grimes, former Miami Dolphin, of course, former Atlanta Falcon, is pretty good corner. He's a smaller type of guy, though, but he plays good zone coverage, and I think he'll be doing just fine in that Buccaneers team, which is going to be going through a rebuilding process as well, with Jameis Winston as their quarterback, with Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. I believe Vince is still there. I really don't remember, but I think it's a good move though with Brett Grimes picking them up. I think they'll definitely help him out on the defensive side of things. And of course, a couple more were Russell Okung, former Seattle Seahawk, one of the best left tackles in the game, was signed by the Denver Broncos. So that's a big addition. That's a big addition for the Denver Broncos. They get something back on the offensive side of things, which will help protect maybe Mark Sanchez. To me, Russell Okung is a really solid left tackle, and I think he'll help them out. And this is kind of crazy. I remember talking about a few podcasts earlier about the Chris Long and James Laurinaitis cuts from the Rams. Well, they just got signed by the New England Patriots. Patriots are in the news this week with signing Chris Long, Shea McClellan, James Laurinaitis, and Martellus Bennett are all becoming Patriots. That's a long list of names there. Of course, the Chicago Bears traded Martellus Bennett for a fourth-round draft pick, I believe. I believe it's a fourth-round draft pick with Bennett. They shipped Bennett to the Patriots essentially, and I believe got a pick, and I believe it was a fourth-round pick. Martellus Bennett was absolutely terrible for the Bears. Really kind of a nutcase. So we'll see how he transpires with the Patriots. But they already have a good tight end core. Maybe Martellus Bennett could turn into the next Aaron Hernandez, a different threat along with Gronk, that dual tight end threat, which would be helpful for Tom Brady. And then Chris Long and James Laurinaitis just helping out that Patriots defense. They were underrated moves in the Patriots. That's definitely who they are. They signed guys like Danny Amendola, and they turn out to be pretty big, players in their offense and defense. So, and then that's pretty much the. Oh yeah, Johnny Manziel got cut. This was about a week ago talking about this. It's kind of crazy, but I mentioned before. It's not. He just had an awful NFL career, and the Browns are just one of the worst teams in the NFL. I think he will get picked up though. I think Manziel will get picked up. I believe he's expressed interest from a few other teams so far. I know he just got a new agent with Drew Rosenhaus, so that's not anything surprising. But I think Johnny Manziel, I think he's Dallas Cowboys bound, in my opinion. I could see him getting picked up. I would not be surprised. Some other NFL team gives him a chance, similar to the RG3 situation. I think he'll get another team eventually, like a Tebow. Tebow got a chance with Philadelphia. He's gotten chances before. He'll probably get more. In terms RG3 and Manziel will probably get some more chances. The NFL is forgiving, and quarterbacks are, you need quarterbacks on your football team, and there's teams that are hurting right now in the quarterback market. A la the New York Jets and the Browns could be, searching out for something else. Maybe RG3 goes to the Browns. We start this whole, thing over again. Who knows? But there's just so many different ways, different teams that need quarterbacks, and there's quarterbacks out there. If it's a running quarterback, that just appeals to the NFL teams. If you can run in this day and the age in the NFL and you can throw, I mean, oh my gosh. That's why Manziel coming out of college was like, this guy's going to be like the next great quarterback of all time, like the Randall Cunningham. And he turned out to be just a flop. He's just, he's just a total bust because he's just in his head, basically. So that's pretty much the NFL side of things this week. And, of course, March Madness. Wow. My bracket is screwed up. From Kentucky getting beaten by Indiana. It's the first time under John Calipari that they've not reached the Elite Eight. That's kind of crazy to think about. Kentucky, though, they get burned out by Indiana. I was rooting for Stephen F. Austin. They have a pretty cool player, Thomas Walkup. He's a beast. And I was watching the game today. It was they just barely lost to Notre Dame. But hopefully, I wish they would have won, though, because I just wanted to see Thomas Walkup. He's a beast of a player. But, Stephen F. Austin, they won. They beat West Virginia, which screwed up some brackets. Of course, Michigan State losing to Middle Tennessee was screwing up brackets. And just so many that have already screwed up everyone's bracket. My bracket is gone. I had Kentucky win the whole thing, and that was gone in a matter of seconds. But it's been a great – March Madness is just a great time. I love watching the games. They're so exciting, too. It's so fun to see some college. I don't really follow college as much as I would like to, but – everyone just follows it in March Madness, and you get your, gist of the players and everything. So, my pick to win now is, I have no idea. Maybe Virginia. Virginia is like the only one that are really still in. Kansas is, I believe, still in. It's tough to keep track. That's why I get that March Madness app. That's the way to go. But I believe Virginia has a good shot. A few other teams, maybe Duke pulls off a miracle, and they can keep going with it. I would not be surprised it's Duke. So Coach K, that's the man right there. But, just so many upsets, so many just crazy upsets. So we'll see what continues to happen, but it's just going to be a wild, wacky time. I believe the Sweet 16 starts, Monday or something like that. It starts very soon, and we're getting there pretty quick. And then here comes the Elite Eight, Final Four, and then the championship game. So it's going to be a bunch of fun. I cannot wait to keep going with it. It's just so much fun. Every other day. It's every day, so it's cool. You don't have to wait for it. It's not like it just, keeps going. You flip around from many channels. Great all around time. The upsets make it, just way more fun. So we'll jump into the one question before we get into the WWE Roadblock stuff, which I wanted to talk about. But the question is, who do you think is going to be the MVP this season, when the season concludes for the NBA? And the comment thought that the guy thought Damian Lillard. I mean, Lillard's had an okay season, but I think to me it's got to be Curry, right? I mean, what else can you do if you're almost about to break the Bulls record, the 95-96 Bulls record? That's pretty good. He's had an unbelievable season, Curry. He's had just an unbelievable season. Now, yesterday, I believe when he faced the Spurs on Saturday, he got shut down. But still, you cannot have, 6 losses. You got to give it to Curry. Curry's had an unbelievable season, leading that team. You had Luke Walton as the coach for a period of time, which that's just think to yourself about Luke Walton. But anywho. It's kind of crazy to think about that. But, yeah. No, Curry, though, is just the man. He's had an unbelievable season. He can just drain threes, great ball handling, and he's, they're probably the pick to win the finals, right? That Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and the Warriors is going to be an unbelievable matchup. It really will be. That's just going to be, Cavs. It's going to be similar like the Cavs Warriors, and I think it will be Cavs Warriors when it's all said and done. I really don't see the Spurs taking down the Warriors. It probably will go 7. I think it will go 7, but it's going to be a dogfight, and in my opinion, Warriors will be the champions. Because I pretty much thought that since the day it started. I mean, the Warriors has been unbelievable. You have so many good players. Even when they're like hurt, when they're banged up, they're still good. You got key players like Thompson and Curry, and then you have role players like the Draymond Greens and the Brandon Rushes that are playing well, and the Barbosas. So all those players are contributing, and they're just a phenomenal team. But my pick to win the MVP is Curry. If it's really anybody else, I'd be utterly shocked. Really, utterly shocked, because no one else really deserves it either. He's the man so far. And then, that pretty much wraps everything up for that. Of course, the new UFC sports game, if you're wondering, for the video game world, has released. I probably will be getting that game, and probably I'll be uploading some cool videos with it. Maybe just some games of me playing, or maybe I'll do a fighter simulate, like a fighter career mode. I'm not exactly a big guy in a fighter career mode, so that's just an idea there. But unless W Roadblock happened this past Saturday, March 12th, I believe it was. It was about a week ago. And it was a fun event. I watched it. 3 hours. It was great. I loved it. Didn't love it, but it was great. Good event. And for the wrestling fans out there, WrestleMania is coming up April 3rd, which is going to be a bunch of fun. I'm excited for it. It's going to be really cool. So I think, WrestleMania is always a fun time. It's a big spectacle. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's Super Bowl of wrestling. It really is. It's just the granddaddy of them all. And it's going to be a bunch of fun. Roadblock was cool, though, because Triple H and Ambrose, I believe, stole the show. It was an A-plus match, in my opinion. Great match. Great storytelling. And I thought it was really fun. And really, all the matches were really good, really. A few of them were dragging. It was like a live special, so nothing too special there. But WrestleMania is coming up. I'll give my predictions on WrestleMania when it creeps closer. We get a couple of weeks until then. But when that creeps closer, I'll get into that. But Roadblock, though, was a fun event from Enzo and Cass. I like how the NXT was incorporated into that. That was cool. I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed really all the matches. It was just a fun show. The crowd was hot in Canada. It was a great event, really, I thought. It's a cool idea, too. I believe they've had 2 other ones from Japan back in July, and then October from MSG. It's been some solid events, and they're fun. So I hope to have more of these cool live specials on the network, which I'm intrigued by. I like them. They're really cool events. But yeah, like I said, I'll give my WrestleMania predictions coming up in later editions of the podcast and everything like that. I'll talk about those sports topics and everything. So that's basically all I want to talk about for Roadblock. Just talk about I really enjoyed the show, and Ambrose losing was the right call. That's basically the only highlight of it, because it was a glorified house show. It's just a fun show. Nothing really happened. No titles changed or anything. But yeah, so there's my little wrestling of the day. Nonetheless, guys, I thank you for enjoying this podcast. Thank you for watching the podcast, nonetheless. As always, you can subscribe to me here on Thesportsduude. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. And make sure you follow me on Twitter and send me your questions. Any questions you want, I'll answer anything you want. Any questions regarding, the sports world or video game world, reviews, or interested in this mode, or what is your next series coming out, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to hit me up with, I shall answer it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the podcast. A little unique, and bring a little wrestling into it and talk about of course, this March Madness craziness, and of course the NFL moves are just kicking in high gear. Of course, spring training is underway, and oh yeah, almost forgot the Adam LaRoche situation. Now let's talk about that. So that's why I love the podcast. I can just spit off ideas. It's just cool to talk about the topics I'm interested in. But LaRoche, I mean, it's still been going on. This happened this week. Wow. I mean, I really don't know what side to take, because you can go from both sides. Yes, the kid Adam LaRoche's son shouldn't have been in there every single day, but the players felt like he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was mature enough. I really don't know where to stand on that, but it's not going to go away. This is still going to go on. I was reading an article on ESPN today saying that this saga's going to finish up, according to Jerry Reinsdorf. That's not going to happen. This is going to be just talked about maybe for the next 2 weeks, and we're going to still talk about it and just analyze every point of it. I really don't know what side to take. Everyone's kind of back and forth on it, because you can argue both sides. The kid was in there. The kid's in there every single day. In my opinion, that's a little excessive. You keep him keep him maybe once in a while. It's fine, but you don't go every single day to in the clubhouse. That to me doesn't that doesn't work well. I don't think at all. So keep the kid out of the clubhouse every day and focus on trying to play baseball. It's fun, cool, whatever. Bring the kid, whatever. Bring him on a random day, but not every single day. That's a little excessive in my opinion. That's where I stand. I kind of agree with the White Sox, but I can agree with the players. And he wasn't doing anything wrong. It's a tough situation, and I would be shocked if this was like done talking about this come Monday morning or Tuesday. This is going to be talking about now forever on every website and every TV station around. But nevertheless, hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you for always watching this podcast. It means a lot to me. Make sure you drop that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, guys. I appreciate all of the support. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.